This video is not directed at kids, it is intended for a mature audience only, and may contain the use of curse words. No children under the age of 13 should watch this video. This is your spoiler warning for Classic Doctor Who Season 3. If you have not yet seen Season 3 of Classic Doctor Who, and you do not want any spoilers for it, then stop watching now. If you are okay with spoilers, or you have seen the season, then let's just get talking about it. So, if you're not familiar with how I do these videos, I've got a couple of things in mind. So, first thing is I'm just going to go throughout the season and discuss individual opinions on the episodes, and then get around to an overall thought on how the season was as a whole. And I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the individual episodes. That's just mainly to help inform you about how I felt about the season as a whole. If you have seen my reviews of the episodes, you probably have a pretty good idea, but I think this is going to be pretty valuable in explaining how I feel about this season as a whole. So I think I'm just going to start with the first episode, Galaxy 4. And Galaxy 4, for me, didn't do much. I mean, it was okay. Nothing really happened. If I recall correct, we had Steven in that episode, and Vicky. We had Steven, Vicky, and the Doctor. And, yeah, I don't remember much of anything from it. I was able to remember the companions, because I remember, like, when they came and left and stuff. But, yeah, nothing to say about it. Mission to the Unknown, I really like Mission to the Unknown. It was just so short, one episode, but it was really engaging, so I quite like that one, but it's a very small percentage of the season. It's, I think, 1/45th of the entire season. Mythmakers was alright. I enjoyed it. I thought the exit of Vicky was really lazy and kind of bad. I genuinely did not like her exit. I thought it was cheap and not true to her character, and I just don't think it was good. So that disappointed me. We got Katrina at the end of that one, so that was that episode. And then we move on to the Daleks Master Plan. The Daleks Master Plan is long. It's 12 parts, but it's good. It's quite solid for most of it, and really good at parts of it. Those last couple of episodes are quite solid. I really wish I could see that last episode. But I think it was episode 4 when Katrina died, which was shocking to me. I did not see that coming. And I thought it was an excellent exit, and it was just the way her character didn't really always know what was going on. She didn't fully understand what she'd gotten herself into, and how she died before she was able to figure that out, I thought was really solid. So yeah, I really like the Daleks Master Plan. Surprise, surprise. Next up is the Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, which is unmemorable. I remember they went back in time to a massacre. It's so forgettable for me. The only part I remember is a speech at the end when the Doctor is talking about how everyone leaves him and they don't understand, and that's a sad moment. And then we get Dodo, and yeah, I don't like Dodo. Dodo's so forgettable and kind of irritating at times. Yeah, whatever. So we move on from the massacre to the Ark. And throughout this whole point, I really had nothing to say about Steven when I was doing my reviews, because he's such a bland character. I just always felt like, what do I say but Steven? He's just there. Doesn't do much. Doesn't say much of note. He's just existing, and there's not much for me to say. The art, that was pretty entertaining. It was one of the better ones of the season. Not great, but I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed the way it was set in multiple time periods and how that helped to just kind of inform the story, and you know, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Celestial Toymaker, I think, is kind of underrated. I mean, it's not great. There's some stuff that is like, oh really, you know. Some of the issues I have with that don't bother me all that much. I think the Celestial Toymaker himself works well in the episode, and honestly, even though he's a pretty basic character, there's not a lot of depth to him. He just kind of works, and there's not enough Doctor in that episode, I think, but you know, what can you do? Next is the Gunfighters, which bored me to tears. Not literally, but oh boy, nothing happened in that episode. And there's some really bad accents from British people attempting to be Southern, and I couldn't take it. And some of the music in that just comes out of nowhere. I don't know, man. That episode, oh boy. So moving on from there, we have the Savages, which is another incredibly forgettable episode. I recall it went back in time. I couldn't tell you the century. I couldn't tell you a single character in that one other than Steven, and that's literally, oh, Dodo was still there at that point. God, what did she even do? See, this episode, I just can't remember much about it all. Oh my gosh. So Steven left then, and that was, I thought, was a worse exit actually to his first exit, which is unfortunate, because I thought his first exit at the end of the massacre was actually a good exit, because that was actually the point where I did feel like, oh, I understand this guy, but then he came back, and And then I was like, oh, okay. He's here. He's not doing much. He's just not very interesting to me. I'm so sorry if I'm coming across bored talking. It partially has to do with the quality of these stories because I'm not getting excited about them. So I'm like, oh, I spent time watching that and I didn't enjoy it, you know? So that's unfortunate. I'm coming across pretty negative, but, you know, the season wasn't awful. A lot of these episodes, I said, oh, it was all right. Like, I think back on it and I don't remember it, but as I was watching it, I enjoyed it. So I gave some of these episodes like 7 out of 10 or 7.25, you know, around there, because I enjoyed them while I was watching them. But I was like, oh, these aren't very memorable. And right now I just remember some of the basic events, but some of them I remember very little about. So moving on to the finale, that's the one where Dodo leaves. My recollection is that it's something stupid where she did something and then we stopped seeing her in the story, and then later we heard, oh, she wants to stay like in London. This is a while after I've actually seen the episodes that I'm recording this review. So if I'm misremembering, you can let me know. You can tell me off. That's fine. Yeah, War Machines. It's pretty entertaining. The War Machines aren't great design. I mean, they're not intimidating at all, but I understand why that is. So now, broader strokes on the season. The main thing that I would like to say that really worked is William Hartnell, because William Hartnell is just really good in this part. And the more I watch this show with William Hartnell, the more I really like William Hartnell as the Doctor, and I didn't used to appreciate him because I hadn't seen enough of his stuff, but now I've seen how he's become less bitter just by being around his companions, and I really like that, and he's just more sweet and more fun, and I that's a part of the past 3 seasons that I have enjoyed, is seeing him become just, I would even say, a better person, and that's good. So this season, again, broader strokes, it's kind of feels like a mess. It kind of feels like there was not a clear vision as to what should we do. It just kind of felt like every week they're like, oh, should we send them to the past? Sure, let's send them to the past again. And sometimes they did some kind of interesting stuff like the Celestial Toymaker, or they did a couple of great episodes. Like, I thought the Daleks Master Plan was really solid, and there were parts in that were great. And I thought that Mission to the Unknown was pretty solid. Most of these episodes, though, I would give less than an 8 out of 10 to. As a whole, this season just had so much of it that I was just uninterested by. And I have, as you can see, just by me doing this review, I have a hard time remembering a lot of those stories just because I didn't enjoy them all that much. But some of them, you know, I did enjoy while I was watching them, and then later I came to not remember them. And that's really unfortunate. So yeah, season 3, just in terms of the quality of the stories, so much of it was just on that level. And then the companions came in and out. We started off, we had Steven, we had Vicky. Vicky left, thought her exit was bad. And then we got Dodo right when Steven left, but then he came back, which was actually a pretty good exit. And then he came back, and then he stayed. And then towards the end, Steven left, and Dodo left. And Dodo's exit was kind of lazy, you know? She just basically walked off screen, and then we heard about how she wanted to stay in London, if I recall correctly. I genuinely am having a hard time remembering how Steven left. Again, it's been a bit since I've seen The Savages, but I'm having a hard time remembering that. So yeah, just broad strokes, that's that. It's been really hard to do reviews of these episodes when I haven't found them interesting, because I just found that I have so little to say, and you might have noticed that with some of them, especially because I have brought it up recently. Yeah, man, I just find myself being so disappointed by this season, because I mean, I really liked the first season. Second season, slightly more rocky, but I still really liked it. This season, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it, but if someone said to me, did you like season 3? I would say parts. I wouldn't be able to just answer yes. I liked parts of it. It's just been hard reviewing this, and I have at this point that I'm recording this seen season 4. Okay, I can't even touch on season 4 because I don't want to say what my thoughts on that season are until my videos come up. So what I will say is that my recollection from the end of season 3 is that I was really hoping that season 4 would pick up and be more engaging and just have some stories that I would be able to get wrapped up in, and have less stories that I just couldn't remember, especially because William Hartnell has only 2 episodes left at the beginning of season 4. That's it. And then we have a new Doctor. So I remember thinking, I really hope that this show just starts to pick up and improve the quality and interest me more and have fun. And whether or not it did that for me, well, you're going to have to wait and see. Overall, this season was a bit of a mixed bag, but I did ultimately like parts of it. It is mostly very forgettable, and I really don't remember much of it. The things that I recall are just moments. It's the bigger moments of what happened in the season, the characters that left that came in, which was something that was just, there's too many of them and there was no focus, you know? And that was hard just to watch it and just realize that, oh, this show's not taking advantage of these people that it had. It's not doing anything with them. So it was quite unfortunate to see that, but there were a couple of standout episodes, which is why there is something about the season that is good. You know, we had Mission to the Unknown, we had the Daleks Master Plan, even the Celestial Toymaker. Like I said, it's entertaining to me. But most of the season, and it's 45 total episodes in terms of just the 25-minute episodes, 45 of those. I haven't done the math in terms of how many hours that works out to. Hello from the future, just wanted to say that works out to just under 19 hours. Quite a lot. It's a big season, not a lot to remember. Basically, about a third of it I'm actually going to remember, and that's basically just the Daleks Master Plan and, you know, Mission to the Unknown. So, mixed bag, mostly forgettable, a mess of characters. William Hartnell is still great as a Doctor. He gets better and better. And there is ultimately going to be stuff that I remember from the season. So, I'm going to give Doctor Who Season 3 a rating of 7.25 out of 10. That's where we're at, folks. Season 3, it was definitely a disappointment on the backs of Seasons 1 and 2, and especially because it is William Hartnell's final season, so you would hope that his final season was able to nail a landing, I guess. Although he does have 2 episodes left, this is the main, you know, this is his final season, right? So I was hoping this one would end up being better than it actually was. But, you know, you get what you get, and I can't complain too much. It is what it is, and I'm not going to be able to change that. So, yeah, classic Doctor Who, Season 3. Did you see it, and what did you think about it? You know, what are your general thoughts? What is your favorite episode? What's your least favorite episode? Anything you want to say about Doctor Who Season 3, let me know down in the comments below. Next Sunday, we're going to be talking about smugglers, and that's going to do it for now, folks. Thank you for watching. Take care, and have a lovely week.